Hey everybody, welcome to the webinar tonight. We're going to start in just a few minutes, waiting for the last number of people just to jump on. So I thank all of you firstly for actually getting yourselves to the Babe Show. I think it was a great success. We met a lot of really awesome people there. So I'm really looking forward to chatting to a lot of you tonight and showing you this opportunity. It's one of the best opportunities that I've seen in an extremely long time. And it's, this is one of those pieces of software that really has gone ahead and I think revolutionized the industry. I've been in this game for over 7 years now, and I've never seen anything quite as comprehensive as this. And at the price that it comes in, it's actually insane. We're going to start, as I say, in just a moment. Just give everybody just a couple more seconds to jump in. As I'm just doing this introduction, what I will tell you guys is I'll take questions at the end. So it's going to probably pan out better that way, because firstly, I'm not really good at concentrating on what I'm doing and trying to handle questions. And then, of course, when we get to the end, you guys can ask as many questions as you want, and we'll run through till as late as you need as I show you everything. So the idea for today really is just to take a little bit more time just to explain the opportunity in terms of the affiliate system, or the leveraged affiliate system as we call it. And the other thing that I want to do then is I'll dive into the system itself. Now, the reality is that there are just so many tools in the system that there'd be no way that I could demonstrate all of them for you tonight. But I'm going to show you the key tools. And obviously the big thing as far as that's concerned is me actually being able to show you how to build a website. So just to make sure that everybody can hear me, can I just ask everybody maybe just to type into the chat whether you can actually hear me or not? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys just type into the chat? I'm not seeing anything. Just give me a heads up if you guys can hear me. All right, so Felicity's here from Dublin. Well, welcome, Felicity. I hope that means that you can hear me. Okay, Fani's in, Marcel's in. Yes, thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Carlo, thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see who's there. Heather's there. Welcome, Heather. And Manish, awesome. Nice to have you guys with us. Always fun, and I think we're going to have quite a cool ride now. So Felicity says, yep, loud and clear. So John Timbani, thanks. Veronica, awesome. And again, thanks, guys. So let's dive straight in. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through the opportunity itself, and after that then we'll get into the more practical stuff. Now, a lot of you did kind of get this at a very, very high level when we spoke at the show, but let me take a little bit more time now to actually go through it. So the thing with the system itself is that what Builderall is it's more than just a website creator. Now, a lot of people think about it as a website creator or a sales funnel creator. I'll talk about sales funnels in just a little while, but the reality is that it has so much to offer. And I'll show you a little bit later on the sort of progression that most businesses go through. And you'll see why the way that they've structured this program makes a lot of sense, because it gives the people that are kind of newbies that really don't need a lot of functionality, even though they get a lot of functionality. It gives them a chance to really get in the game for, less than $10, which is the price of hosting. And then as one's business grows and becomes stronger and your marketing skills improve, it starts to move into an automation phase, which is really where the sales funnels come into their own. And then after that, the really, really successful businesses and the successful marketers want to take that automation and they want to scale it to another level. Now, traditionally in the past, it's been very, very difficult to do that, because what you've had to do is take subscriptions or buy different apps and different programs. So I remember about a year ago, this is when I sort of drew a line in the sand. I did a webinar funnel, and I ended up using 7 different pieces of technology that I had to stitch together. And it was such a pain for me, because I'm not really good at the tech stuff. I'm a marketer, and for those of you that know me, I'm also an accountant. So tech is not my thing. And that meant I had to learn about 7 different pieces of tech, which is a challenge in and of itself. And then you have to set them up, and they've got to talk to each other. So there's this whole integration thing, which is extremely difficult. And invariably something would break. Something would break somewhere, then I would have to go and try and find what was broken, because now, of course, my whole funnel is broken because one of these 7 pieces is on the blink. So last year, I was looking around for a way that I could scale my business, and I came across this as a tool, and I almost couldn't believe it. In fact, a lot of you guys have jumped on this with a 7-day free trial, and I've got to admit, I was really skeptical. So it happened to me as well, because at that stage, they only had one offer, which was a $30 a month offer. And they had the free trial. And because the free trial, was a no strings attached, no credit card, I said, all right, I'll jump in. But, and to be honest with you, I just couldn't believe, because, I've been in the game for 7 years, so I know what this stuff costs. I could not believe that for that price of $30, they could give us all that stuff. And I remember it vividly, like it was yesterday. It was a Saturday morning. I got into the office early, and I just started playing with it. I was like, I'll have a look at it for a couple of hours. 14 hours later, it was time to go to bed. And I just bought it there and then. I didn't even bother to wait for my 7 days to finish. I moved all of my clients over to it immediately, and it really started to make a big difference to me, because finally I could have one platform that worked, everything integrated. It was really affordable for my clients, because before that, the £500 gorilla in the industry costs $97 a month just to get in the game. And the South Africans just could not afford that. It was just ridiculous. So I was a pretty happy camper. My clients were happy. I had a solution that worked. And then in February this year, the company embarked on a really, really aggressive expansion policy. So just to give you an idea, that the history of the company is that it was formed by a chap called Eric Salgado from Brazil. And he was actually trying to solve this problem 7 or 8 years ago that I had now, where the poor small guy, he just had no chance. This was kind of when WordPress was starting to become prevalent, but we were still creating websites in HTML, and it was really difficult for people that were not that way inclined. So he had this vision to create something that was really, really simple, that the ordinary man could just drag and drop something and create a website. Anyway, I think this thing has grown a life of its own. And last year, about a year ago now, actually, they moved to the United States. They ran out of Florida, and they really started to take the business international. And in February, they had a really big launch. And what they then did is they added a couple of other pricing structures. So at the time that I bought it, there was a $30 price structure. They then added the sub $10 price structure, so $9.90 a month, which is essentially the cost of hosting. And they included so much in there in terms of websites and sales funnels and things. I'll talk to that a little bit more, a little bit later on as we get further into the presentation. The $30 remained, but then what they did is they introduced a $50 option. And the $50 option is really where you guys want to be, because in order to take advantage of the monetization that I'm going to show you just now, when it comes to promoting the platform, you need to be on that package. So one day I woke up literally and they gave me money. They said, well, okay, you have to upgrade from the $30 package to the $50 package. But then they started to give me commissions on every single one of my clients that I had brought into the system, not because I was getting a commission, but in fact, because I was using the program and I was so impressed with it. So that's kind of the background, just to let you know how I fit into this and how everything plays out. And just so that you guys know, for those that don't know me, I'm a chartered accountant. I got out of the profession in 2011 to concentrate on online marketing, and that's what I've done ever since. I'm also an international #1 best-selling author on books about the sort of stuff that we're talking about now, in particular sales funnels, because really that's what makes commerce go round. I tend to concentrate a lot on service-based businesses as opposed to product-based businesses, because products are easy to sell, services not so much. And in fact, what I do today is I coach clients on a one-on-one basis, literally once a week, and we build out some really interesting things which culminate in a sales funnel. So that's really where I fit into this. And so you can understand why this tool was very, very exciting to me. And honestly, before this tool, or set of tools really, because it's actually an entire platform, I just couldn't scale my business. So that's the history. That's where I come from. So let's jump into it. Now, when you actually look at the platform, as I say, everybody thinks about it as a website creator, and it kind of makes sense, because that's really where everybody starts. It starts with a website. If you don't have a website, you've got nothing. And shopping habits and browsing habits and buying habits, for that matter, have changed completely over the last few years. Today, if you're looking for a new product, if you're looking for a new service, if you're looking at a new service provider, the very first thing we do is we go to Google. We research, we look at social media, we try to find out about the industry, we find out about the products, we find out about the people that we want to deal with, and it's just so easy to see. So we have to be online, and it's really important, when it comes to websites, and I'll talk to that in just a moment when I take you through the process of how people typically grow their businesses. So just a couple of the things that we can do on the platform. So the first thing that you see there are virtual stores. So essentially that's really just an e-commerce store. So an e-commerce store is very, very different perhaps to other websites. So it almost has a life of its own. All other websites that you see, and including the free one that we gave away, that's got a very specific structure, and it's not designed to have a shopping cart where you're going to sell lots and lots of products in one transaction. So there's a different set of technology, and the fact that they could have that as just one part of this is actually quite incredible. You might think of Shopify as the, the competitor. So Shopify, you pay a fortune just for that, whereas here it's just included in, your monthly subscription. Then one is actually able to sell digital products. So as I told you, I'm an author. I also created many, many video products in my time, and I sell them on the platform. Then we've got email automation. So this is kind of my favorite one, because this really allows us to scale our business and, to start building trust with people. If you've ever opted into somebody's list, where it says, hey, give us your email and we'll give you some cool thing. And then you get like emails, like a bazillion emails for 100 years after that. Well, that's the email automation. It's called an autoresponder, and we have that integrated. Now, for those of you that don't know, that's a really, really expensive piece of kit, because we pay per subscriber. And as our business grows and becomes, more and more valuable, and our email list becomes bigger, we get forced into paying stupid money for it. So this is an unlimited option, which is quite incredible. And in fact, I've had people that have just bought the system just for this. They don't even care about the rest of the stuff. They just said, email automation, what? Free forever. Yeah, as many as you want. And they're in. So don't underestimate that. It works really well. And the key thing is it just integrates with everything. I can't even tell you, if you've never built sales funnels and you've never been involved in email marketing, you do not understand the value of what I've just said to you. But if you are, I promise you, this makes your life infinitely easier. Then, of course, we can actually go ahead and we can actually create videos. So it gives us an opportunity to create a thing called floating videos. And that's like when people look like they're walking on the screen, but all that's happened is they've recorded a video using what's called green screen technology. So people stand against the green screen, and then we do some jiggery pokery with our platform, and we literally take that green screen out, and it looks like it's replaced with a transparent background. So it looks like they're walking, on the screen. And then, of course, there's also those animated videos. You've seen those little explainer videos. They're very, very effective because they're generally quite short. You get to show what's going on. And people can't judge those videos because they're cartoon characters, so they can't form negative opinions. So they're actually very, very popular, and that's why you see so many of them. As you would expect, you would have a blog as part of something that was going to create your websites and sales funnels. There's also an affiliate system. Now, an affiliate system really allows you to essentially recruit a number of different people to sell your product. So let's say, for example, I want to sell my book and I want to sell a number of my other products. This system actually allows me to recruit as many people as I want. And of course, they sell first and I only pay a commission later. The great thing about this system is this is the system that actually manages the whole thing. So I don't have to go ahead and worry about, who I owe what money to. I know when a transaction is done. You know when a transaction is done. And it's a really awesome feature. Other affiliate systems like this easily cost you $97 a month by themselves, and this is included. Then we have sales funnels. So that's the bread and butter. So this is now obviously an online sales funnel where we take a person from being a total stranger all the way through a certain journey that we create for them. And at the end of that journey, they become paying clients. So sales funnels are vital. They are really, they're almost a new website. In fact, if you didn't have the normal website and you just had a sales funnel, that would probably be enough in a lot of cases. And of course, the ideal website has the two combined, and the free website that we gave away has that. And I'll touch on that a little bit later. I'll show you guys what that actually looks like. Then, of course, there's membership sites. So this is what allows you to protect content on your site. Now, this is very valuable for a couple of reasons, because sometimes you want to sell access to that, and sometimes you want to give access away in exchange for an email address. So the process where I gave you guys the free website, that's an example of that. You can't get into the training until you actually register. So in order to do that, I've put that behind a membership site where I've protected that content, and I'm only going to allow you to get access to that content once you give me your email address. Then there's training courses. So I don't know if you guys have ever looked at sites like Udemy or Skillshare where you can go in and buy individual courses. Well, we have the ability to be the Udemy or the Skillshare. So if we've got a number of courses, or we've got a number of other people that have courses that we want to sell for them, we can actually put this on our own platform, because we have the ability to do that. We can earn money. We can share the transaction with others. It's an incredible opportunity for those of us that play in that space. Selling of services, that should be fairly obvious. That comes with your sites and obviously some of the sales funnels. There's also online apps that you can create. So what we're talking about there are, the normal day-to-day apps that you would have on your phone or your tablet. So we're actually able to create both iOS apps, and we're actually able to create Android apps. And I think there's over 80 functions that are available. I must be honest with you, I've not done it, so I can't really comment on it, but I know a lot of the other guys have, and they're just loving it. So what's nice is that we can actually create an app really that looks like the rest of our site and our funnels, so everything integrates perfectly. And a couple of things that I didn't put on here: we can do webinars, which is a really, really big one. So they've got essentially two types of webinars. There's a live webinar where there's some streaming going on, and then once you've streamed it, for the first time, there'll just be a recording. So when this webinar is finished, I'll just basically create a recording and I'll pop it on site, and then I'll send that recording out to those people that couldn't make the webinar tonight. So that's another one of the great features. There's a lot of Facebook integration, for example. They've got a messenger chatbot, and the list goes on. It's actually such a phenomenal platform. And as I say, in just a moment, I'll actually go ahead and show you the sort of progression that people go through. And then you'll start to understand why a lot of these features are really, really powerful. They may not all appeal to you. A lot of them may, but as one grows, as I said in the journey, these tools become more and more valuable. So I just need to sort of tie this up as I lead into the actual opportunity itself. Currently, we're in over 100 countries all over the world. And the good news is I think, and I don't know the exact numbers, but it's around about 40,000 people. In the last month or so, I think they've added close to 20,000, or maybe the last 3 months, to be fair. They're busy with a major launch. They did a major upgrade to the system where they did their quote-unquote launch, although the thing's been going for 8 years, only on the 27th of July. So there's a phenomenal amount of new stuff that's come in to the system. And, of course, they've got a lot of clients, as I say, worldwide, and growing at a fairly fast rate at the moment. So the opportunity that we have is known really as a leveraged affiliate program. So just for those of you that don't know, in the online marketing space, when you talk about affiliate marketing, it's very, very simple. The concept is that somebody sells a product of yours, and only once they've sold the product do you pay them a commission. So if you think of Amazon.com, for example, they're the big behemoth. Amazon actually invented this idea of the affiliate program. And the way that it works is every person that is registered with Amazon gets a very specific link, so that link is unique to them. So if one of you takes one of my books, for example, and you like the book and you send out your affiliate link to somebody and they buy, what then happens is Amazon tracks that affiliate link to you, says, okay, that's great, James, somebody's made a sale, but we're going to take away some commission and we're going to pay it to that person. We'll take some commission for ourselves at Amazon and we'll pay you the rest. So there's a lot of people that their sole business in life is what's called affiliate marketing. So they build these big email lists, and that's why that autoresponder is so important. And really, the only thing they do is every single day they write emails to people and they just tell them about new offers and new things that are happening in their space. Now, in most cases with that, it's kind of like a one and done, right? So if you took my book and you sent it to somebody and they bought it, that would be that. They'd buy the book, the transaction would be done, and there'd never be any more revenue flowing either to me as the seller of the book or to you. That transaction is finished. So the next best thing to do is to rather go ahead and to promote programs and products that have continuity in them. So again, you see that quite a lot, where somebody will say, hey, I've got a program where there's a consistent amount where people pay $47 a month to access content. I give them new content every month. And if you go ahead and sell, as long as the people are actually paying their $47 subscription, I'll give you, say, 50% or whatever the number happens to be. So that's much better, obviously, because obviously the more that people are actually in the system, the better it is. But when you look at traditional membership sites like that, what you find is that the average length of stay with people is only 3 months. So it's a really, really difficult call sometimes. When I say the average, some people will bail out immediately after the first month. Others will stay for a year. But on average, that tends to be what it is. And a lot of the time, that's because of the type of product really that's underlying the program. And that's why you've seen, that's why I took a little bit of time to actually show you how powerful this product is, because it's like your cell phone. You don't not pay your cell phone because they cut you off. Like if you have a website going, if you've got sales funnels going out there, or you've got webinars going, you don't stop paying your subscription because it's part of your business. It's part of your overhead. So this is just one of those programs that has universal appeal. And, the pain of disconnect is just too huge for people to do it once they're using the platform and the program. I mean, like me, for example, I've got all my clients on here. There's no way I'm ever stopping this. It's just not going to happen. In fact, I'm looking to do more and more, and I'm using the program more and more, and I'm using more and more of the features as I grow and as my clients grow into what it is they're doing. So what we have here is a leveraged affiliate program. And what that basically means is that instead of paying you a commission just on one level on a continuous basis, it's on two. So let's just kind of have a look what that looks like. So the first thing that you'll see is, let's say that one of you decides that tonight you are going to jump onto this opportunity. So I'm there on the left, and you can see this is now month one. What will happen is that I will get 100% of the money that you pay. Now, as you'll see just now, there's 3 price points, and I'll talk to them in a minute. But essentially, it's $9.90 a month, $29.90 a month, and $49.90 a month. So let's round that off. Let's call it $10, $30, $50. So obviously, for the bigger tools and the more important tools, what's going to happen is that we're going to have to be part of the $50 program. So let's say that you guys jump on and you pay $50. Well, that's great for me because I'm getting $50 this month. Right. So the next thing that's going to happen is, after this month is finished, all right, I'm now going to get from month 2. Sorry, the month, the 2's fallen off the month 2 there. But from month 2 onwards, I'm going to get 30% of the recurring income. So for every month that you stay in the program and you pay your $50, I'm going to get $15. And that's a pretty good deal. If you look at certainly if you're in the South African market and you look at the Rand dollar exchange, that's fantastic. But really what I want to happen is, I actually want you then to go on and to sell like crazy. So if you then go on and you sell to somebody, what happens in month 1? Of course, you get the 100%. And in month 2, just like I do, you get another 30% from month 2. But so do I, right? So now what's happening is we're both getting 30%. So I'm now in a situation where I'm getting 30% times 2. So let's just put some numbers to that so that it makes sense, right? So let's just say that I make 1 sale per week per year. That's it. 1 sale per week per year. That's 52 sales in a year. So the 100% in month 1 is going to translate to $2,594, right? So I don't know what that is. Exchange rate keeps going up and down, 40 something thousand bucks in Rand terms. So that's a pretty good deal. Then for me, that's nice. But the most exciting thing is from month 2. In other words, every month. Now, at the end of the year, if I've been doing that consistently and I've got 52 people paying their $50, I'm going to be earning $780 per month. So now we're starting to talk, 12,000, 13,000 Rand a month. And this is recurring. And remember, we've said that the need for this product is so huge, and the pain of disconnect is so big that when people are actually using it, they're just not stopping. Now, let's just say that just 30% of those 52 people actually go ahead and do what I did, and they make 1 sale per week. Now you can see how the numbers really go ahead and stack. That comes out to $12,400 a month. I'm sure you can do the maths on that in terms of South African rands. That becomes a very, very substantial piece of income. Now, the slide that you're looking at now, really, that is the business opportunity in a nutshell. That particular slide shows you exactly what's up. So the real power in this is really getting people into the business that really see the value and that can go out and that can and that are prepared to go to promote it. Now, the nice thing about this business opportunity is that it's created by marketers. So there's sales funnels everywhere that you can imagine. Really, this business is no more difficult than literally sending out a link for somebody to click on, and it'll get promoted. And if some of you jump onto the Builderall site when you registered, you will have seen that Builderall is now sending you emails. So there's a couple that are coming from me, but what's happened is that Builderall have actually got funnels. So as you logged in, and I linked the whole system up because, as I said to you, everything's integrated to Mailing Boss and so on. What happened is that Builderall is actually sending you emails as well. And you'll see if you watch those emails over the next few weeks or so, they're trying to get you to upgrade. So you'll start off with a 7-day trial, and then they'll try to get you to the to at least take the $10, and then they'll try to get you to the $30, and then they'll try to get you to the $50. So that's what a sales funnel is all about, and that's what follow-up's all about. And honestly, I didn't have to do much more than that than to give you the opportunity to register for a free 7-day trial. So that's really the power of the system. So let me just show you why this is so valuable, and really how I've generally found a lot of businesses start with their online presence and how everything tends to progress over time. So when new businesses get involved, generally I find that there's kind of 3 steps of growth, if you like. And the first step, if you can see that little man at the bottom there at point A, that can start where somebody's just sort of started the business or there's no business. And then if you follow the dotted snaky line up to point B, that's where we're sitting with a recurring income. Now, if you have a look at it, the very first thing, point number 1 there, is a website. And it has to be, because your website online is just like your presence offline. And as we've already discussed today, if you're not online, you're in a lot of trouble. You absolutely have to be. There's no question about it. So we now understand that we need to be online. But here's the big thing. This is really interesting. So whenever I do webinars and I'm talking to a large audience or I'm speaking from the stage, I always ask the question. I say, how many of you have got a website? And I can tell you now that the answer invariably is less than 50%. Okay, let me say that again. Less than 50% have got a website. I know if you read the stats tell you that, maybe 2/3 of people have got websites. But I'm just telling you, in my experience, most people do not. Then I ask a follow-up question. I say, okay, so for those of you that do have a website, how many leads and clients have you ever got from your website? And honestly, if I can say 2% or maybe 3% at most of those people have ever had a client from their website, that's a lot. So the reality is that most websites suck. They're like an online brochure that say, hey, this is who I am, this is where you can find me, this is what I sell. Now, clearly you need that, right? But it doesn't do anything to grow your business. And one of the reasons that these websites are so terrible is, well, there are actually three. And just before I go into that, I'll tell you something that's interesting. We've got a number of web designers on our team, and I've spoken to a number of other web designers who have asked to help us to build websites. And they tell me that 60% of their business is actually not new websites. It's actually people redoing old websites. And it's for one of three reasons. So the first reason is that, clearly it looks a little bit old and tired, because what you find is that, styles have changed, and clearly you can see a site that was made 5-6 years ago. The second reason is that it's not mobile compatible, and that's a particular problem on the mobile phone. The tablets are not too bad, but the mobile phone is a real issue, and that's what we do. Everybody has a mobile phone in their pocket today. And the third reason is the silent one, and the one that a lot of people get sort of taken by surprise, because the websites look beautiful, but the reality is they don't generate leads, clients, and sales. And you guys will have seen that the free website that we've given away is designed to do exactly that. So once we know now that we got to create a good website, the next thing is, of course, we got to worry about the technology. Now, up until recently, this has been an absolute nightmare. Even me, who has been involved in this and that can do this, I hate it with an absolute passion. Right? It's just horrible. It sucks, basically, right? Because I'm not a tech guy. If I was a tech guy and I was the guy that built websites and I was a graphic designer, it would be wonderful, but it's not wonderful. And it's not wonderful for most people. There are none of my clients that want to build any of this, okay? So it's an issue. So in the past, what had to happen was you had to go to somebody that was going to build it for you. You had no idea who they were, what they were doing. You had no idea what they were charging you. Now, honestly, and I'm going to show this to you just now, just to show you how easy this is. Even if you have got no experience, you can drag and drop yourself a site like in minutes, literally. Okay, it's not rocket science. So even though you may want to still outsource it, at least if you're in a tough spot, you can actually help yourself. So that's what's happened, and the technology, as I say, is coming at a really, really cheap price. Then, of course, the last piece of that is now you got to get the content that you got to put on, and that's why that free website that we gave away is so important, because we teach you the structure, we teach you how to get that content, and we lead you through video training. In fact, there's 3.5 hours of video training to show you how to populate your website. So this is generally what tends to happen. A lot of people will jump on, they'll create a website, not a good website like I've just explained to you, just a website. Like, so they threw something up, it's got 3 pages, it's a static website, it does nothing. It's the brochure that I spoke about. And then they wonder, they say, oh my God, I built it, but nobody came. Now the scratching of the head starts. So those that have got a little bit more initiative then realize that they've got to make something happen. And that's step 2 that you see there. That's the automate stage. That's important. So in step 2, point number 4 there, the first part of that automation is, I'm sure, again, you guys have seen this a million times. This is where somebody offers you something for free. Now, in the trade, we call that a lead magnet. So I'm going to give you my lead magnet in exchange for your email address. And then, of course, we've already touched on it. The autoresponder is that little app that sits in the background that manages all of our email and manages all of our lists. And that sends out automated email sequences. Now, a lot of us hate them because it happens all the time. But if you do really good emails that people look forward to and that people are already really happy to open, you'll find that email marketing is very, very effective. And the ability to just really write an email sequence once and automate it and send it to everybody is extremely powerful. I think you can see how that's going to save you a lot of time. And then, of course, the last thing for those of us that have businesses that lend themselves to that is that we can actually sell products and or services, believe it or not, straight online as people are opting in, to that particular funnel. And once you've got that automation dialed in, really, after that, your next thing that you got to do is step 3 there is to scale it. Because once you sort it and you're done, your business is clearly doing something right. If you've got a good sales funnel, it's going to be generating leads that give you a positive return on investment, and it's just going to be a no-brainer. So the key thing to scale, although it's not strictly part of our platform, is really the amount of traffic that we can drive to it. So in my coaching, just to give you an example, where my promise to people is that I'll help you to build a system that will get you a minimum of 2 new clients every month. The reason it's a minimum is because of the amount of traffic that we're going to drive. So the more traffic that you drive into this automated system that's getting you a positive ROI, obviously the more money you're going to make. Now, the more successful people are then going to want to get other people to sell their products. And we've already spoken about affiliate marketing at length. It's a fantastic opportunity, both for the product owner and for the affiliates, because again, the affiliates only get paid on commission once they've actually made the sale. And, my personal favorite is the webinar. So that's exactly what's happening now. At the show, I had to be there for 3 days to talk to all of you. Now I have a different scenario where it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy for me. I'm sitting on one webinar and I'm talking to all of you at once and managing to get everything across. So webinars are extremely powerful. So you can see that really the affiliate platform, the webinars, and a couple of other things within the system really go ahead and they actually allow us to scale the business fairly significantly. So the way that Builderall is structured is that they've almost followed this process inadvertently, in that their $10 option really covers the basic stuff, giving you a basic website, but it actually covers a whole lot more. I'll have a look at that in just a while to show you what that looks like. Then, of course, there's the automation piece, and that's where things like the email autoresponder come in, and the creating of videos and that sort of thing come in. And then really for the really serious marketers and the really serious and businesses that are doing very well, that's where we start needing the affiliate platform and the e-commerce integration and the webinars and the Facebook chatbots and that sort of thing. And of course, not to forget, that's where we have to be in order to actually take advantage of the revenue opportunities. So that's kind of the system that everybody goes through. So let me show you this free website lead generation funnel. Now, a lot of you are going through this funnel, or you have gone through the funnel, and really it was designed to give away a free website that is so valuable to you that you simply have to upgrade, even if it's just to a $10 option. And remember, I've created this website. We built it once. We don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. We just keep giving it away and giving it away and giving it away. And obviously, as people start to use the website, they look at it, they'll be impressed, because no other website is this comprehensive. It comes with everything. It comes with 3.5 hours of training. It shows you literally step by step. So if you've never built a website before and you've got no idea how to structure it, where to put graphics, what colors should look like, you've got no idea how to build the sales funnel, you've got no idea what content's got to go in and how to find that content and how to put it together, you don't have to worry, because we give that to you. So the value is insane. In fact, if you came to me and you offered to pay me to do just this basic thing, I would charge you a minimum of 20,000 Rand, $20,000, let's call it, if you're paying in US dollars. So this thing is phenomenally valuable. So essentially the idea really is basically to go ahead and we drive traffic to the squeeze page. So the free gift or the lead magnet that we're giving away is the free website, right? So as soon as they opt in, what happens is that you go straight to the Builderall platform. Now, because of everything is integrated, you couldn't do this with any other platform, but because it's integrated and as soon as you opt into my squeeze page, what actually happens is your account in Builderall is created in the background. So all of you that are on this webinar today probably have an account created. And if you haven't, we'll get you one created soon. And it's very important, because that account that was created through my efforts of being at the show and speaking to you. So that means that I gave you the affiliate link, which was mine. So if you guys go ahead and upgrade and you become part of my team, then I will get credit for that, and I will get that 30% that I spoke to you about. And of course, I will then give you this funnel. I will train you and I'll help you to do the same. And I'm more than thrilled to do that. Why? Well, because I want you to sell on your email address when you captured it. Even though you were registering for a Builderall account, it went onto the autoresponder. So that is my email list. It's all automated. And of course, as you can see there, what happened is it automatically sent out another email to you to say, hey, if you want to get access to the members training area, you need to register here. And that's probably what a lot of you would have done. And if you didn't do that, then you wouldn't actually be able to get access to the free website, and you wouldn't be able to get access to the training. But the whole thing is automated, right? I didn't have to touch any of this. And I'll show you what the training looks like a little bit later on, and you can see for yourself. In fact, I think we're probably just about ready to finish up with a PowerPoint. So let me jump out of PowerPoint. Right, so now let's actually jump in and have a look at the practical application so I can actually show you all the tools and I can really do a quick run through of the platform for you. Now, when you get to the main page, this is pretty much the page that you're going to see. And what you want to do is you'll see all of the good things, all of the tools that are on the platform sit here on the left hand side. So let's go through them one by one. Right at the top, the very first tool, as you would imagine, is the builder, or a number of builders that are actually in there, and this is really what allows us to build the websites. Now the option that you should jump onto right away will be this drag and drop pixel perfect editor. Now there's a number of different editors, but this one is by far the best one for us to use, and this is the one that's really like PowerPoint. This is the one where we can simply go ahead and drag and drop things and we can literally plug and play. Then we've got a responsive builder. So this builder is a little bit more complex to use, and what it does is it allows us to create the site that will be visible on mobile devices. Having said that, I'm still a bigger fan of the drag and drop, firstly because it's easier to use, and secondly because what Builderall actually allows us to do is to customize each individual website for each individual device separately. So once we've created the first website, which will generally be for the computer, the desktop, or the laptop, we can then go ahead and we can actually tweak that particular website, and we can, for example, hide elements on the mobile phone because it just doesn't make sense, or because scrolling through the mobile phone is going to take a little bit too much time, so we'll leave elements off. So we can hide them on mobile, and you can still show them on desktop. There's also a blog builder over here, a responsive blog builder, which we do use. And of course, if you just wanted to create a mobile site by itself, then of course you've got an option there to do that. And then there's the app creator. So this is the app that actually allows us to create iOS and Android apps, and there are, I believe, about 80 plus functions or pieces of functionality that you can use. So you can see it's very versatile and quite easy to create an app. I'll come back to this in a moment and I'll actually show you exactly how this works, but before I do that, let me just take you through the rest of the tools. So we've got Mailing Boss, which is our autoresponder. So if we actually click on Mailing Boss, just give it a second to open. Although it is a separate piece of software, it is owned by Builderall as part of our platform, and everything links up, and it's very integrated, which is which is awesome if you're somebody that builds sales funnels and you're tending to need to drive a lot of traffic and you're tending to do a lot of email follow-up. This is something that is unbelievable. It really allows you to scale your business because you can write a set of emails once and you can keep mailing it out forever and ever. So it really works with a number of different lists that you would create, campaigns. These are the emails that you would send out, and the workflow, which is a really nice addition, which really allows you to drag and drop things. So let's say I wanted to create a new list. I would simply drag that onto my canvas. Then if I want to have an email, I would just go and click an email campaign. I'd simply go and maybe, I'll just pick an existing one, or I'd create a new one. And one can simply go through literally and drag and drop, and you can see everything at a glance, and it's so easy now to go into edit and to create an automated email campaign. So let's go back into our tools. So the next tools we want to have a look at are the design tools, and these are really nifty. My personal favorite is probably the Design Studio, so let's jump in and have a look what that is. But all you really need to do is, if you've got an image of anything that you want to portray, maybe it's an image of a book cover, for example, or maybe it's a video image, or maybe it's just a screenshot that you've taken of your website. What this allows you to do is to simply go ahead and to upload that image, and then you can really place it anywhere in any of these images that you see. So for example, if I wanted to use this iMac and put my book on it, I would import my image, I would then simply render it, and I could download it, and I would get this iMac with now my image in. And if I just scroll down, just to give you a little bit of a sense of how many different options there are, it's quite incredible the amount of stuff that we can do. In the past you'd need something like Photoshop, and you'd have to buy different actions and things, and it was pretty technical. So for people like us, this is a real breakthrough, which is wonderful. Then we've got the presentation builder over here. Presentation builder is like having a PowerPoint presentation embedded online. So when I'm creating, like I am now, I'm recording this for you, this PowerPoint presentation is actually on my computer, but once you actually embed it online, anybody can watch it anywhere at any time. And then we've got our photo studio, which allows us to do some other interesting things. It obviously allows us to manipulate photos and to touch them up. And it also has this interesting thing with 3D rotations, where once you take a number of pictures, you can actually use the system itself to almost look like something is actually rotating. It's quite a phenomenal technology. Then the next thing is our videos. So The first one, which I think is the one that we're going to use the most, we did touch on it a little bit earlier, are the animated videos. And then, of course, we've got the floating videos, which give you the opportunity to take out that green screen background and replace it with something that's transparent. Quite a lot sits here in the apps. There's a ton of apps in here that we can use for different purposes. So the first one is the browser notification. So when people actually come to your site, instead of having to get them to opt into emails and having to send them stuff, you can just have a little browser notification that says, hey, we've sent out a new email this week, or we've announced a new product, or whatever it is that you want to announce. So it's very, very easy and quick to get to all of your people that way. Search engine optimization. This is the on-page report tool. So this allows you to look at your site, and the system will actually give you a lot of advice as to where you can improve, so that you can improve your SEO score, so that you can be found hopefully on the first page of Google. We've got the click map, which is very useful for marketers. This actually allows us to see exactly where people click with their mouses, and also as they're moving their mouses around. So if you are, for example, if you've got a squeeze page and you want people to click on your button, if you find people are not clicking on your button, you may not know that, but once you look at your heat map stats, you will know that, and then maybe you'll know that you need to put your button in a different place, or maybe the call to action that's on your button needs to change. We've got a chat review over here. So what this does is it allows us to actually pull reviews from many different sources online and to bring them all into one place so we can put them on our website. Very, very powerful for us from that perspective, because reviews and testimonials are very, very powerful. Auto post, we can now simply write a number of Facebook posts and set it and forget it, and it will automatically post to Facebook, which is a really, really nice feature. And then, of course, we've got the Facebook chatbot. So this is the messenger, which is becoming a very, very key and crucial part today of websites and of the way that people communicate. It's probably the biggest thing in online marketing at the moment. A lot of people are very successful with it and making quite a lot of money. Share locker. So this function here, this allows us to basically lock our content until somebody shares it. So if I've got a really good blog post, maybe I'll show you the first couple of paragraphs, and then I'll say, well, if you want to unlock it, share this on Facebook. Here's the e-learning platform we spoke about. This platform here, this actually allows us to create what we call schools, universities, and then we put products into those schools or into those universities. And of course, we can sell them individually. So you can see here, we've got courses. Then obviously the students will enroll in those courses. The different teachers. So this is where you could get courses from different people. And obviously within the courses, you'll have various lessons. So very, very powerful technology if you're into that sort of thing. We've got a script generator. This is really nice as well, because one of the big problems that a lot of people have is actually the ability to write sales pages. Marketing is very, very difficult, but what this does is it actually gives us, if you like, the scripts to go ahead and to actually write all of the sales material that we'll need. So you can actually see down here, there's a few walkthrough videos, and there's a whole bunch of different things that we can do. But you can write scripts for virtually anything, for sales letters, video sales letters, for blog posts, for webinars. They've got an incredible array here. So you don't have to be a genius. You never have to have done it before, and you just use this technology. It's fantastic, and you'll knock really, really good scripts out that will convert virtually overnight. Then we've got a couple of other smaller apps. We've got some social proof elements, which obviously help tremendously, and we've got Roulette. I got to laugh at this one. This is a little bit of a gimmick. It's known as an exit pop. So if somebody comes to your page and they don't buy, or they don't do what you want them to do, when they leave, they get presented with this roulette wheel, which gives them different options. So it's quite cool actually, because you can sort of offer them maybe a discount on one of your products, or a free consultation, or something like that. Then as we scroll down a little bit more, you'll see some of the bigger apps that are self-contained. So the webinar app itself is obviously a self-contained app. This is huge, where you've actually got the two options. You've got the option to do it live, and of course you've also got the option to create something either live or recorded, and then record it and play it in the future. So then it really becomes evergreen. So that's what you're going to find will happen after we're finished with this live webinar. We'll simply take that recording and we'll put it in here, and then anybody can really come and watch this webinar again at any particular time that suits them. It doesn't have to be at the time that I was available to do this original recording. Then we've got the marketplace over here. Now the marketplace is something that we register for separately, but again, it's part of it. I'm not going to go into it now, but as you can see very, very briefly, you get a lot of statistics. It allows you to obviously track all of your products in there. If you've got products, it allows you to see who your affiliates are. It allows you to automatically pay them. It's a phenomenally powerful platform when you actually add it on, if that's the sort of thing that you're wanting to do. Then just to show you, I'll come back to Builderall Business in a minute because that's really where the heart is. We've got a ticketing system, so if you need to get to support, you simply open a ticket. Here's the earnings calculator, so you guys can actually jump in when you get it and actually go and play with it. So what this earnings calculator does is it actually allows you to put in some hypothetical numbers based on how hard you think you're going to work and the success you're going to have, and then for you to actually be able to see what the effect is going to be on your earnings. So they say how many licenses can you sell in a year. So let's run through that. Let's just say we can sell 100. That's kind of the example that they're thinking of. So if you sold 100 licenses, you'd be making close to $5,000. Obviously that's going to be your immediate commissions because it's $49.90. And then of course the monthly commissions at the end of that are going to be $1,497 every single month. And then we're going to say, okay, well, how many will work as an affiliate? In other words, how many are going to do what you did? So let's just go with the example that they've got there, 30. And then how many sales will each of them make? So we've just got to fill that in. So they say 5. All right, so let's go with our 5. And now you can see the effect that just that little bit has had. So obviously the immediate earnings are still the same because that's for our direct earnings on our first level, but now you can see we've actually had a relatively significant jump in our monthly income. And of course you can go ahead and you can play with this. What if they did 30 sales each? Now you can sort of see it jumps to some sort of ridiculous numbers, and this is just it's more than a gimmick. I think it just gives you an opportunity to really sit down and look at what the potential is. And you can basically say to yourself, well, if I'm prepared to work hard, what is it that I can actually get done when I actually jump into this? So now what I want to do is I want to take you into the Builderall Business, which is the heart of really what it is that we're going to do, which is really your back office, and it's the heart of managing this whole entire process. So when you go in, you've got a dashboard, you've got a quick start, you've got all sorts of things there. But what I really want to show you, without obviously going into everything because it's not that important for you right now, and this only actually becomes important for you if you do jump on and become a business builder. But what I do want to show you, I want to show you the money making funnels, because what this is all of the different funnels that Builderall have created for us to promote. So I said to you a little bit earlier, all you have to do is promote a link and Builderall will do the complete follow-up for you. So let me show you what that looks like. There's actually a number of funnels that we've got here, and we can literally go ahead and promote any of them. So you can see this first one is called Builderall Home, so that's if you went to the home page. And then here is your generic affiliate link. So you'll see that number there. I don't know if you can see it. It's 163172. That's my affiliate number. So any of these pages that I'm promoting, as long as it's got my affiliate number on it, when somebody clicks on it, I'm going to get the credit. So they've got a couple of other things. So now we've got a promotion for the leveraged affiliate, which is a little bit of what I'm talking to you about now. There's the top affiliates webinar, so that's another funnel. The Mailing Boss funnel, so what they've done is they've actually sold Mailing Boss individually, which is really nice because I think it's $49 for life, which is crazy. But the only way that you can access Mailing Boss is by first coming into the Builderall platform. So every time you come in, they're basically saying to you, hey, look what you're missing, look what you're missing. And hopefully that's going to get people to actually upgrade, because of course you can use Mailing Boss outside of Builderall, but it works best when it's actually integrated with everything. Then there's Builderall Business, which is really what we're discussing tonight. So I'll show you that in just a second. We've got the 7-day free trial, which I've spoken about, and then there's another funnel for registering for 7 days. But let's go back to the Business Builder. So you'll see over here, there's the link from the homepage. So I'm actually going to go in and click on that link, and now it's copied to my clipboard. And what I want to show you is we can really go up to the top here, and we can use this URL shortener. So if I go ahead and I put that long URL in, and I just push send, what it's going to do is it's going to be this short little URL. So if I go and I copy that, let's go and put it into a new tab, and let's go and see what actually happens there. And now you can see that it's loaded the page. But the key thing to see is that up top here, you'll see there's my affiliate ID. In fact, it says AID, which is affiliate ID. There's my ID. So if anyone was to then go and to click on this, then obviously I would get commission. And as we go down, we get to see the whole sales page, which really goes into an explanation, if you like, on really what the business builder is all about. So I'm just going to click on one of these buttons arbitrarily, because you'll see there's many call to action buttons, and really what it's going to do now is it's going to take me to the checkout to go ahead and to create my account. So that is one of the powerful funnels. What I want to do is let me actually take you into one of the other funnels, because I want to just take you a little bit behind the scenes so that you can go ahead and see. Let's go to the Builderall Home funnel. So we'll copy that, and I just want to go and show you the makeup, if you like, of the different packages, just to give you an idea of what you get for the $10, what you get for the $30, and what you get for the $50, and what the differences are. So as we go into the plans here, let's give that a sec to load. You can see that we've got 3 different pricing points. So the first is what they call web presence, and that's pretty much what I said to you. For less than $10 a month, which is, as I have said before, is like the cost of hosting. It really allows you to access the drag and drop editor that I'm going to show you in just a moment. It gives you unlimited pages and subdomains, and you can connect one domain, right? So Builderall will give you an arbitrary domain that they assign to you, so you can use that, but it really doesn't help for people trying to find your site. If you're building sales funnels, it doesn't matter, but if you've got a website, you need your dedicated domain, and of course you get one. You also have the ability to create personalized emails with that. You can see our unlimited bandwidth and visitors, third-party integrations. And in fact, if I go ahead and I click on this, you'll see, I won't go through this now, you guys can go and do that. But if you have a look at this, there are so many different features and functionalities that are built into that ridiculous $10 a month option. And for most other platforms, you can be paying that just for the hosting, whereas here, you're actually getting everything in one fell swoop. The next thing, of course, is now the digital marketing platform. So this is pretty much what I bought when I first started, and it was very, very exciting to me. So again, we've got all of the things that we had before, but now what happens is we get a whole lot of those Builderall apps that I showed you just a moment ago. Then we have unlimited pages and subdomains, but I think 2 of the biggest differences between the $10 and the $30 package, the first one here is that we can now connect up to 15 dedicated domains, which is really, really nice. And the other big thing, of course, is that we now bring in the autoresponder, which is an unlimited autoresponder. And there's obviously the hosting is included with a bunch of third-party integrations and so on. So again, if we click on this, you can go through this, and there's tons and tons of other options that are included in here, other tools. As you can see, it scrolls on a little bit. I think actually up at the top, if I just pause for a sec, you'll see here really are where a lot of those different apps are, if you like. So that's really where the heart of this particular package is concerned. And there's some other stuff down here, but that's really for, as you can imagine, for people that have got a little bit of a clue in marketing, or that are looking just to step up their efforts. Then the last package, of course, is the Builderall Business package. Now, there's 2 reasons that you would want to go to this package. The first one is you can't be involved in the business opportunity if you don't. So it's kind of a premium that we pay in order to be able to earn that 30% on 2 levels. But there are also a couple of very, very big tools that you can see here. So obviously we've got professional unlimited email marketing, we've got unlimited e-commerce, we've got the webinar platform, we've got the Facebook Messenger bot, and some auto post tools, which is to Facebook, and the marketplace, and of course the leveraged affiliate system. So it's probably those tools there. That's really the biggest difference between the $30 and the $50 package. So for advanced marketers, whether they're selling this, whether they're selling the platform or not, it is very, very useful, because the amount of money that we pay on these tools, if we buy them individually, is way, way, way in excess of $50. So if you're speaking to marketers, this is such an easy sale. You don't even have to try. And again, of course, if you click on the features, it goes on. And the rest of the features, to be fair, there's not a whole lot of difference between the $30 and the $50 package. Really, what they're doing is they're giving us a couple of other useful toys, and they're giving us the ability to go ahead and to promote their funnels. So you guys can go and have a look at this at your leisure when you get onto the Builderall site itself. Honestly, there's so much functionality even at the $10 level that it's an absolute no-brainer to give everything away. I'll show you in just a little while what we created for you when it comes to that free website that we give away, and you can really do quite a lot of that free website just on the $9.90 package. In fact, the only thing you can't do is use the mailing boss integration. So there you'd need to at least be on the $29.90 package, and if you're obviously, as I said, if you're involved in the business opportunity, it's the $49.90 package. So let me take you back now, and let's go to the builder so I can actually show you how to create a website, just to show you how simple this is, because this is really at the heart of everything. So if we click that little drop down arrow, we're going to now click on our drag and drop pixel perfect builder. So it's the one with the flame, right? You go and it's the very first one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on new website. Let's give that a second to load. So now what it does is it brings up for me all of the templates that I can access. And if you scroll down on the left here in this big blue block, you can see that there's so many different options. So if you look at sales funnels, which is, I think, really the heart of most websites, if we click on that, look at the amount of different sales funnels you can create. There's an Amazon coupon funnel, an application funnel. If you're getting someone, for example, to jump onto a calendar with you, and you need to, you need them to give you some information beforehand. Article, advertorial funnel, and ask campaign. So this is where you're trying to find information. It's like doing online surveys, if you like. Auto webinar funnel. So this, you're probably at this stage going to be watching this as an automated webinar. This would be the funnel, or a funnel, that I could have used to get you here. Bridge funnels, cancellation funnels, ebook funnels, right? There's so many different funnels that you can actually go through here. There's a funnel for literally every sort of business that you can imagine, right? So I'm not going to jump onto a funnel because I want to show you more of a website. But then, of course, we now get into sort of local businesses. So you can see there's all sorts of different businesses, and if you have one of these businesses, or you have clients with one of these businesses, you can just simply go and grab one of these without necessarily having to go and reinvent the wheel. So I'm an accountant, so let's go grab the accountant. So what it's now going to do is it's going to pull up all of the pages and the websites, the templates that are available currently for accountants. So the one thing you just want to be aware of, because this product emanated in Brazil, we do have some different languages. Yes, so you just want to try to find something in English. So obviously these first few you can see at the top, that's in Portuguese, it's not in English. So what we want to do is we want to get something that's in English. So EN will say English. So there's a funnel. So it says the accountant funnel, and then we've got another site here for accountant express English. So what I'm going to do is, anytime you want to actually look at what these look like, you can click the view button. So once we click the view button, it just gives us an opportunity to see whether we actually want to import this template and start to edit it. So as you can see, we can just scroll down and we can have a look at it. So let's say we like this particular template. So what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll close this, and instead of clicking view this time, I will click edit. Now, the first time that you click edit like this, what is happening is that everything is loading in the background. So it almost loads all of the code onto your computer in order for you to actually be able to use the editor. So it may take a couple of seconds, as you saw over there. Right, now this particular site is loaded, and you can see there's all sorts of dotted lines all over the show. And the key thing to see is that there's a different section for our header and our footer. So if I show you over here, I don't know if you can see, but pretty much where my mouse is, there's a dotted line, and everything above that dotted line is the header. Then we can scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll find another dotted line, which is this dark piece over here. So you can see this line over here, and this is the footer. Now, the way that this website works is it has what we call layouts, and we have pages within the layout. So if I go over here, you'll see that up at the top it says layout. So I've only got one layout, and this layout says accountant, and if I click on this layout, it says home. So the layout means that every single page within the layout is going to have exactly the same header and exactly the same footer, but there's going to be something that can go in between. So what we're going to do is, let me show you how simple and easy it is to actually edit a site. So if we go back to the top, you'll see as you hover over things with your mouse, it kind of has these dotted green lines, so you know exactly where the element is sitting. But if you right click on it, which I'm doing now, you'll see a whole new structure comes up here, which tells us all about that particular element, right? So this is an image element, and there are a whole lot of things that you can do to this image element depending on how you're going to use it. Then if we close that, if we go and we right click on that, you can see this is a text element, and you can see it's got different functions that you can do with it. So again, depending on what the element is and what you're going to use for it, let's click on this one. You can see that's a button, right? So it's really pretty simple when you look at it. So let's say I want to change this button, right? What I can do is I could delete that button, for example. Let's say I want to put a new button in. The way that we add new elements is we go to this little plus sign over here, and you can see there's all sorts of different elements that I can choose. I'm going to show you that in a little bit more detail in a minute, but let's just go to the button, because now of course I've killed my button. Let's say I'll just take the first one. Now I want this button, and as you can see, this button is now sitting over there on my site. So with this button I can do a whole lot of things. I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller, I can squash it, I can move it, so I don't even have to have it up there. I can move it literally anywhere I want. So this is why I said if you can use PowerPoint, just drag and drop. Literally, I've put an element here, I can put it wherever I want, and I can drag and drop. So let me show you, if I go here and I go to actions, right, what I can do when somebody clicks on that is I can do any of these different actions. So this thing is so powerful, you don't have to know code or anything. You know, it can either be no action, or you can take them to another page on your website. You could email them, you could take them to a web address. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's take them to a web address quickly. Let's go ahead and use good old trusty Google, and we'll click OK. The other thing that I can do, I should probably do this, otherwise it's going to jump out. You can see it can open in the same tab or in a new tab, so I'm just going to open it in a new tab so you can see the effect of that. And then of course the first thing I've got to do now is I've got to save. Now because this is the first time that I'm saving, it's going to ask me what do I want to call this. So let's just call this test 3, just so that we can save it. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to save it. And now my website is saved. Now it is actually an actual website. So I click save, and then I just have to wait for that last confirmation just to make 100% sure. The little green box will come up, says thank you very much. I'll say that's okay. Now what we're going to do is we go up to the top here and we've got a preview screen. So if we click on the preview screen, what that's going to do is it's going to show us the website as one would see it in real time. So you can see all of those lines are gone as I'm hovering my mouse over anything. There's no blocks coming up. I can't edit it at the moment, but I don't want to edit it. I want to click on here. So if I now click on this new button that we've created, register here, what it does is you can see it takes us to Google where it's supposed to. So let me get rid of that. So as you can see, it's literally so easy. I'm just going to go back to being able to edit in order to edit any particular element on your site. So let me show you what it would be like to actually create a new page. So in order to do that, we're going to go now back to our layout. So remember, there's our layout. We've only got one. And within that layout, we've simply got one page. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into this, and we can see our one page in there, which is the home page. But I want another page. So down at the bottom here, it says add a page. So I'm going to click on add a page. And again, just like we did a little bit earlier, you can see there's a whole bunch of funnels that one can actually go ahead and look at, and you can choose any particular page that you want. But because I'm trying to illustrate something to you, I'm just going to go with a blank page. Okay, so nothing too hectic. There's my blank page. I'll click on the page. I won't even change the name. I'll just call it blank page, and I'll confirm and just give it a second to actually go ahead and to create that page. Right. Now you can see the page is created. You can see a blank page, and I don't know if you can see, but it's a slightly darker shade of orange, so we know that that's where we're at. So what you can see now is, if I just close this, is exactly what I said to you before. Remember, the layout is exactly the same. So our header is at the top, and now you can actually quite clearly see where that little dotted line is. So what that means is that this header in this layout is going to be on every single page in this layout, and it's going to look the same, and of course the same with the footer. But now the canvas, if you like, that we've got to play with is this piece in the middle, the body. So we can literally put anything into the body of this website, and this is how we create it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this footer and I'm going to drag it down. This is a little bit of a tedious process if you're going to add stuff, but I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to make a little bit of space quickly, and it's really just a case of on your mouse it's sort of a left click and we're dragging it down. Now I'm going to take myself back to the top, and I'm going to show you all of these elements. Now when we're creating website, what we really want to do is I want you to think about it as kind of building it in sections, and we call these sections banners. And the reason that banners are so useful is that once we place a banner on a website, we can place any other element that we want on top of that banner, and should we need to move that banner around, all of the elements that are on top of the banner will move with it. So if I click on banner over here, what you're going to see is that we have a ton of different banners that have already been created. You can see I'm scrolling here. There's tons and tons of banners, and each of these banners have already been pre-templated for you, so you don't have to actually go ahead and create something from scratch. And really, you can just run through this and have a look. So let's say I want a price list. So if I click on price list, you can see I've got these various options, right? And all I've got to do is click it. So I click on that, and what's happened now is the banner has come in with a price list. So let me just close this for a second to show you. So you can see the banner, it's a white banner, and you can see the green square around it again. And if I want to make it a little bit bigger, I'll simply grab this and I'll pull it down. Now obviously you can see that this element over here is a single element. So if I right click again, you can see that's a text element. So I'm just going to move it out the way for a sec so that we can see. Of course, we've got a button. So if we right click, we see there's a button. There's some more text up there. And so on. You see there's a box, and so you can see what's happened is you could actually go ahead and construct this all yourself, but why bother to do that if somebody's already done it for you? And let's say there's too many in here. So let's say I want to delete these 3. I simply go and delete, and boom, Bob's your uncle, and now I can go and put it back. And of course, if I click again and I highlight something, we have the WYSIWYG editor that we're all very used to. What you see is what you get. So really I could go in there, I can change the color, I can literally do anything I want. And that's really how easy it is to actually put these elements in. So the next thing I can do, let's go and just grab another banner just for argument's sake. If I now create a new banner, let me just take a blank banner, right? So I've now got this banner over here, and I'm going to put this banner below the one on the top. Now if I just drag it on the corner, it simply goes and it clicks in place, and now I'm ready to build the next section on my website. So now what I can do is go back to my elements, and you can just go and play with this. You can actually go through here. There's text elements, obviously. There's all sorts of tagging elements. There's other banners and things you can do. There's boxes and lines, buttons, images, and so on. So if you're wanting to add individual elements, you'll do that. If you're wanting to use the elements that have already been created for you, simply go ahead and grab any of those sort of pre-populated banners, and then you can just go and edit them. And really it's as simple as that. So let's say I wanted to add an image, right? So I add an image. There's different types of images. We'll just do a very simple image, and of course now I can put that image wherever I want. I could now right click and go and change that image. Now if you haven't got any images yet, you would have to first upload them. I've got some images up, so I don't have to upload them. Let's go and pick any one at random, and I'll confirm. And now you can see I have this image. Now what I can do with this image, of course, is I can make it bigger. Again, I can put it wherever I want. Maybe I need to have some text with it, so now I'll go and I'll click a text box. Let's say I want a big headline, so I'll grab this headline. I'll pull it down here. I'll go ahead and I will change the color of that headline, maybe to a white because it's against a blue background. Maybe I need to change the size, so I can go and make this a lot bigger. Let's go and do, say, 38, and you can see, so I can literally, it's drag and drop, anything that you can imagine. And with websites, there's very few things that you have to worry about. Now, there's images, there's text, there's maybe a logo, and there's some buttons. And that's it. And this thing can do all of that and more. Obviously, if you want to add videos and you want to add squeeze pages and anything that your heart desires, you can add them here. So here you can see that's where you add your audio and video. Here's your social stuff. You've got contact forms. So this is the contact form where somebody sends you an email and says, hey, I'm interested in XYZ. This form here, the email form, this is the one that takes it onto your autoresponder. Animated counters, there's a whole bunch of other apps that we've got here. Elements, timers, checkout, sales funnels, blogs. It's incredible what you've got. So I thought I would just run you through that because it's really a very, very simple process. Now, what I'm going to show you just as a last aside here, if I go back into my sites, of course, what I should be doing here is saving. I should really be telling you this because if you don't save, you can obviously lose everything. So if your computer crashes or something silly happens, you've got a problem. So we click save again, and we simply go ahead and we wait for them to confirm our changes, and now we know everything is done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back into my sites this time, and I've got a whole lot of them, so don't worry. Some of them are published, some are not. So let me go and show you the free website funnel so that you can have a look. I'll just click on freewebsite.builderallsouthafrica.com. And actually, this is not the first page. The first page is actually /home. This is the page that I would generally send people to go and opt in. So as you can see, people are going to go through this page. There's all of the explanation as to why the website is free, exactly what it is that they're getting. Then what I do is I really take them through, tell them what the value is, and I show them exactly what's going to happen. So I walk them step by step through the registration. So you're going to go register there, then you're going to get the special bonus offer. I'm saying, well, ignore that. Here's an important note. Then you've got to go check your email, because now what we've got to do is you've got to opt in to the members area. So that's a second opt-in. This is what's going to happen. It's a double opt-in, unfortunately, and then this is what you're going to see. So right at the bottom here, it now gives us an opportunity to opt in. So as I click that, you can see there is my affiliate link, okay, affiliate ID. So now we're going to have to go ahead and register something. So let me just go and register. I might be registered. Actually, I will be registered. This isn't really going to help me. So let's just go James. Hopefully I haven't used this one, and we'll click get started today. Right, so now what's happened, and this is something that's going to actually happen to you as well, is it's going to make a special free offer. What it's trying to do here is it's trying to get you to upgrade to the $30 offer, which is great. So let's scroll down, because that's not the purpose here, and we're going to say no thanks. It's going to take me to the platform right now. So if we click on that, it now simply takes us straight into the platform, and obviously I'm logged in, so it's me, but this is what you would get if you weren't. This would be the first screen that you would see. Now what I do want to show you, because there's a whole bunch of other emails that go in the background, which I'm not going to get to now, but as you go through it, when you've finally done that, you're actually going to come through to the site itself. So this is what the training site looks like. So you can see here there's a welcome video, so that's this page over here, and this really just explains everything. You can either click the get started now, which will take you to start here, and then when we get to start here, you'll see there's a number of different modules in here. So the first one is how to install your template. So you'd obviously watch this video, and then you would click here and you'd install your template. Then how to use the template. It's very, very important, because you can either use all of it, you can use some of it, you can do it yourself, you can outsource it. So we just give you the options there, and then we show you some template editing basics. And the template editing basics that I'm showing on this particular funnel is not generic. It's specific to this website that we've created, so it's very, very easy for you to go ahead and to do. Now remember, Builderall has got tons and tons of tutorial videos. I haven't shown that to you yet. I'll show that to you in just a moment. So there's no excuse. You've got access to literally everything. And then you'll see that the website is broken up into 4 different sections. So you'll see here I've got template customization. So that's your main website. It's full of static pages. So how do we edit that? We've got a lead generation funnel. That's literally creating the squeeze page for you and showing you how to incorporate your lead magnet. We've got the email autoresponder, so that is the automated email follow-up sequence. I've given you 3 emails there. I've given you a template. Literally you can just change that template and you're on your way. And then of course lastly the blog, so we show you how to set up the blog and how to basically add blog posts, etc., etc. So just to click on here, you'll see the template customization. You'll see we've got the home page, the about us page, the products and services page, the contact us page, the legal page. And the nice thing about this is not only are there videos, but they're actually templated worksheets. So the idea here is that I actually take you through the worksheet. So you get the template, and then I'll take you through the worksheet so you know what has to go in, you know what order it's in. And what you should do is you just actually fill in the template as you go through it, because at the end of the day, once you've got that done, you can then go back to your template and just copy and paste, because that's much quicker and easier. Or you can simply email those templates to your web designer and they'll actually be able to create the whole site for you. So it's really, really useful way of looking at it. Then we've got the lead generation funnel itself. So this is quite a simple one. A lot of people don't really know much about lead generation funnels. So here all I'm doing is I'm giving you a video where I'm really walking you through what it is and what the structure of this particular one is. And of course a big part of that is going to be the lead magnet. So I'll show you how to create a lead magnet. It's really, really simple. A couple of pages will do just fine. Then we've got our email autoresponder. So again, a lot of people don't understand that. So this is really explaining the fundamentals. There's a 3 email sequence that I've written for you guys. And in this video really explains what that sequence is designed to achieve. And then I've got 3 emails that I use in order to do that. First email, which is our welcome email. And this is the email where we give them the link to download their lead magnet. So it's a very important email. The second one is a little bit about bonding. So that's where we tell them a little bit about us, our company, our products. And then the third one is our first attempt really at getting them to reach out to us so we can help them. And the last thing is just showing you how to set up your email sequence. A little bit earlier in this presentation, I showed you the Mailing Boss workflow, and we ran through that in a little bit more detail. Let me take you back to the main site. You can see down here, by the way, there's that new lead that I've just created. So this lead now goes into my back office because obviously I used my affiliate link. So we'll get rid of that just for the moment. When you come to the page, I'll just take you back to the home page, because what I want to do is I want to show you how to help yourself when you get onto the site. If you just scroll on ever so slightly, you'll see here we've got tutorials and training videos. So if we click on the tutorials and training videos, there's the 2 different types. So tutorials are literally short videos. They can be literally 1 minute, maybe 5-6 minutes, and all they're doing is they're showing you different questions that you might have about the particular apps and the particular features of the platform, right? The training is quite nice. So if you're a first-time person, if you come to the training, there's a whole bunch of trainings they keep adding to this. So let's say we want to build a website from scratch. We go here, build a pixel perfect website in minutes. We go and we click on that, and it will go ahead and will bring up obviously a number of videos for us, and you can go through, watch those videos, and you'll know exactly how to create a website. It's not much more complex than I showed you just a few moments ago. It really is that simple. And of course, as you've seen, there's templates galore here. There's over 1,000 templates. So honestly, go pick a template, tweak here, tweak there, put your content in, and bang, you've got a website. It's as simple as that. And the same for the funnel. Okay, the funnel is just as easy to do. And the nice thing is that the funnel flow is all linked up to you, for you already, so you don't have to go and try to work out what's going to go where. You just take the funnel that's already created and put your content in. It cannot be easier. So this I think is probably going to conclude if you like this presentation as far as everything is concerned, showing you the back end of the system. There's obviously a lot to it. You definitely want to jump in, so you want to grab that 7-day free trial. I'll pop a link into the chat box for you in order to do that. And then of course the other thing that you want to do is, if you're convinced that this is for you, what I suggest you do is actually just go ahead and just grab the business builder straight away. Get into it, get started, so that you can actually start promoting everything. We do run webinars ourselves every Tuesday night, so we have one for our team. So we meet at from 8 to 9 with the team, and then at 9 o'clock onwards we invite other interested parties to come in. So we're just having one person doing the webinar, and it really helps the whole team. So this, again, as you've seen, is a really big feature, and this is why I love the webinar platform so much. So once again, guys, thanks for jumping on. If you've got any questions, just pop them into the question box. They should come through to me, and I'll do my very best to actually answer them and to get back to you. Alternatively, simply contact me. You can see my contact details on the screen now, so go ahead, contact me, and I'll get back to you as soon as we can. Right, guys, thanks, and we'll chat to you soon.